Hello, everybody. If anyone's here, please let me know that you are here. I had a little bit of technical problem, so it's sorted right now. So we are fine. We can carry on. But I'll wait for somebody. I can see that I am on my own. So let me know if you are here, please. Just want to know whether it is actually being broadcasted or not. So if you can, please just show that you are here. Hello, Steph. Hi. Okay, so you are here. That's great. Okay. As long as I am being seen, and I'm gonna now share my easel. So if you can see this, please just confirm that you are seeing it, and then I'll start. I always forget to close the door. Okay, you can see that. That's great. And now I am going to use my, just get the image, open it. Right, so for some reason, the system wouldn't let me, although I was logged in, the system wouldn't let me to start the stream. And of course, this is not the same as Zoom session, so sometimes it doesn't show. Right, let's just start then. I think Michael is trying to join in. For some reason, he cannot join in. Let me just see if I can answer. No, I have not access to him, so it's okay. I'll just do this. Right. So first of all, I wanted to show everybody why and how I chose those colors. So here are the colors that I chose, and I simply went from a light pink to black, and I found that nightshade from Lightfast. Derwent Lightfast was a better choice than a dark red for this picture. Another thing that I would appreciate it if somebody let me know is whether you can see my cursor moving over this or not. Can you see that? The cursor? Because, you know, this is a new thing I am trying to put this picture on. So if you can see it, I was saying that, you know, this purple band is Nightshade from Derwent Lightfast, and I found that is a better choice for these dark parts rather than, you know, a dark red. Okay, that's fine. On phone is you can't see cursor. All right. Okay, so we'll try not to use the cursor then. Okay, let's just start and say that. So this is how I choose the colors going from light to dark. And as long as even if you don't have the polychromos ones, even if you don't have polychromos, as long as you start with a light pink and gradually choose darker and darker reds and also add a dark purple and then a black, or instead of dark purple, if you have a dark brown, that would work as well. So any color pencil set that you have, you can have this set, and then you'll be able to draw. The yellow one, the yellow colors are for these for the golden details here, the sparkly parts, that I chose the golden, yellow and ivory. So if you don't have those specific colors, just get something light cream and something like a ochre yellow or golden yellow, something like this, or very, very light brown would do as well for these. I am not sure if actually we managed to finish this, but I am going to try my best to do it, and please let me know if you if you prefer me to go faster or slower or whatever. Okay, so first of all, on a smooth paper we go from light to dark. Okay, so first of all I am going to try to get one of these detailed sparkly parts drawn, and then move on to the at least half of this bell and show you the process of going through light to dark. So the first thing, I'm going to just get rid of these lines, because these are going to, these will interfere with our light colors that we are going to put down. I dab my kneadable eraser rather than rubbing it in, because if you rub it, the pigment is going to actually sink into the tooth of the paper, and that we don't want. The next thing is to sharpen your pencil. I'm going to sharpen my ivory. So with the ivory, I'm going to go on and put down these lines. The light lines that are coming, that are supposed to be cross-hatching. It's sort of like a crossing in this bell, like that. So probably you can't see, but you know, all I did was going like that and then like that. So going over those crossings. Okay. Thank you, Stephanie. That's great to know. Right. After that, I'm going to go around this shape, and I am blocking these lines because this is light to dark principle. So with ivory, I just went around all those lines, and then I'm going to go in and just put down some dots with ivory, like that. Dots, dot, 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 where it is supposed to be glitters. where we're supposed to see glitters, I'm putting dots down and I'm pressing hard to make the indentation. If we couldn't do this pattern, please just go ahead and do the same as I did over there after the session. So then I'm going to sharpen my light yellow ochre pencil or your golden yellow. And without going in the middle, I'm just going to go over these dots that I just did. So those dots hopefully are blocked now. And I'm going over them, around them, creating this golden color. And the dots, the light color dots, are going to create sparkly effect, especially afterwards when I put the reds in. Then they are going to stand out as glitters. What sparkles are in a picture are nothing but contrast between light and dark. So if you can create lights and then light colors and then go around them with darker colors, you'll have your sparkles. On the other side of this, whatever pattern it is, it's like a coney shape thing. It's mostly golden. So I'm using my pencil, my yellow pencil, to just create that yellow golden. It's mostly golden. It's not yellow really, is it? But the sparkles are just lighter colors amongst the darker colors. So that's, you know, it is already looking quite sparkly. So then I am going to start from the top here and start making this transition, okay? Okay. Tell me, you know, my screen is showing it to me back to front. So when you say left, is that right? Is that right? Okay. So to be honest, I think let's just move this away so everybody can see everything, right? Yes, okay. I think it's better like this, isn't it? Because, you know, you have your reference in front of you anyway. I thought, you know, it would be a little bit of more help. But if you can't see the cursor and if you cannot, if it is covering the picture, there's no point having it in. So let's just take that away. Now I'm going to start from this part. So, you know, because if we manage to make the transition between, you know, the lights and the darks in this area, then you can easily go ahead and do the top part. So I am going to give you the principles in this session. It's already 16 minutes into the time. Right. So what I did was getting rid of that line above this. And now I'm going to start from top here, come down. The first thing is to recognize what is my mid-range, mid-tone red, what is my light, and what is the dark. And as I explained to you, if you see this is my lightest light. So whatever light pink you have, then a mid-tone pink, then going to a bright pink, then a light red, darker red, dark purple, and then black. So that is what I'm going to go through. And for this particular line here, I just put that down next to me, next to the picture, and I think this mid-tone red is what I need to do in here. Most of the colors here, most of the red here would be done by this darker red. The lighters are with the pinks. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to in my set, the pale geranium lake is the color that I'm going to choose as my mid-tone. Pale geranium lake. And with that, I'm going to just go ahead and color this part. On a light, on a smooth paper, you need to go light to dark. So I'm going to just put that down like that. Okay, so I did made that line. Then if you look at the reference, this big blob here is the highlight in the top, right? Right underneath that is dark, and then we have this. So we need to make a transition between this light band and the darker part. So for that, I'm going to start with my dark red. This is from Polychromos, dark red, and you need to have them sharpened, right? Mine is already this one. Thankfully, it is sharp. So I'm going to go and make this line above the light color. Okay. And then start pulling this down. So pulling the dark on the right, on the light color, pulling it down. And when I say pull it down, if I want to magnify what I'm doing this something like that. So I did this first, and now I'm pulling it down. Both parts I did really gentle pressure. I used gentle pressure. So I'm pulling that color down into the light color, and it will make a nice transition, okay? Your pencil needs to be sharp and your pressure needs to be light. On a smooth paper, that is the case. Light pressure is what you need on most papers, but sharp pencil, if you have a textured paper like pastel matte, you wouldn't particularly need a sharp pencil. All right, so now I'm going to my lighter red and do the opposite. So I'm going upwards this time. So I'm covering the dark shade, going over the dark shade, okay? So this will make the joint line disappear. And that is what we want. After that is done, then I can carry on with the rest of this spell. I'm going to go one notch darker than this. So I had my pale geranium lake, and then one notch darker is this one, which is the deep scarlet red. So this is deep scarlet red, and this is pale geranium lake. So can you see the difference? The difference is subtle, but that is what we want. We want subtle difference. So I'm going to sharpen my deep scarlet red if you don't have these pencils, just anything that is slightly darker than what you first used. Okay, so I'm going to start using this, and I am going to just come down gradually. Because the change is subtle, it is not giving me a hard time blending with the other color. You just want one notch darker here. And it's at the moment, it looks the same, but if we go a few layers over it, it will start showing. So here we should start looking for creating the shape. So the shape of this bell is like, you know, from up to down like that. So if you look at the colors, they are sort of coming down like this. They're not going round, they're coming down. Okay, so that's why I changed my hatches into the vertical ones going from top to bottom. Okay. I am using really light pressure, but I'm trying to keep my lines close to each other. So they are dense and close. So looking at the reference, you can see that this edge between the colors here, where it start becoming light here, this is very irregular. So that's why I'm not particularly looking for making same size hatches. They are very random. And I'm going to stop around here because after this, we are going to get darker colors, right? So let's come back one more layer. And some of the spaces left between these hatches, they are actually good because I can then go in with my lighter color, right? Okay, so that's the top part. Then I'm going to start with the light here. I can come down and gradually make it lighter, but it is safer because it's a smooth paper. It's safer to actually do the light colors first, just in case. So my light colors were the pinks, right? So these pinks, the beige red and the pink Madder Lake. These are the colors I chose from Polychromos, but you can use like the same shade if you have it in other colors. I didn't put any lines around this because I didn't want to create any indentations while I would do the transfer. So I tried to do a little bit of freehand here, and shouldn't be difficult because, you know, it's not a difficult shape to draw. As long as we go light to dark, we'll be fine. So this is beige red, or your lightest color, lightest pink. If you don't have a very light pink, just go with one layer of white and then go with your pink over that. Okay, then I'm going to start with my second pink. In my case, it is the pink Madder Lake. I'm using very light pressure. And when it comes near to this golden pattern here, I just go around between the edges of the details of that. And as you can see, I'm coming over the light pink, right? And I'm keeping the shape of that highlight, which I'm seeing on the bell, right? This is the same shape. So it's better to go a few layers rather than pressing hard. It's good to go light-handed and then go back and do another layer if you need to. Okay, so I've just, on average, I can say, it was about 2 or 3 layers of this color. Then I would go up gradually with the colors that I have. So these are the order of my colors. So beige red, bright pink, then geranium lake, pale geranium lake, deep scarlet red, dark red, then my dark purple, and then black, right? So I'm going to, after that, I'm going to go to my pink geranium lake. So it doesn't, pale geranium lake, it doesn't matter if you don't have this, just a light red would do. So this is the principles of going from light to dark and making a nice transition between different shades without making a joint line or a harsh line. Going from light to dark, and you'll see that we go on it a few times to build up our transition. And don't worry if it is going and mixing with the color up there, because it's absolutely fine. We're gonna mix them anyway. So I'm gonna go over that darker color that we used, right? Which was the deep scarlet red. Okay, so now I'm gonna get the deep scarlet red and carry on what I left there, because as you can see, this side of the bell is darker. So let's coming down and overlapping the pale geranium red or your light red, whatever it was. This is my mid-tone red, and then I have a dark red after this, right? If I get too close to this pattern there, I'll just get that done the same as I did there. And I think it's not gonna take too much time. So let's see how far we can go just with this. There was another pattern down here, like an archy thing, shiny arch that, it was like a leaf that I chose not to put in this picture because it would take too much time, wouldn't suit our little short session. I keep looking at the messages and the comments. So if you have any questions, if you want me to change pace or anything, please let me know. Let's just stop here. If we have time, we'll go over that pattern, right? But I'll make sure that I build up to the dark there. I'm gonna go over here as well with my deep scarlet red. And now it's time to go between this pattern and show you how the ivory crisscrosses we did in here now will work for us. So there we go. Because I made that indentation in there, it is actually making a nice block for me. It's blockage. It might not be very tidy because, you know, when you put a light color down on white paper, you can't really see them, see your lines, but, you know, you can see that it has worked, the indentation. And because this bell is a bit, this pattern is on the side, even if it is a little bit skewed, it's fine. So down here it is lighter, so I'm not going to use this color, but on this edge it is dark again. I'm not doing any magic, you know, I'm just looking at the reference and I can see that this side is darker. That's all. Some ask me, how do you know? I don't know anything. I just look at the reference. Okay. Right. So I'm gonna now move to my lighter color, the pale geranium lake or your light red for this side of the golden pattern. Okay. Right, so we did the first layer. Now it's time to go back on everything. So this time I'm gonna go from dark to light. So this time, starting from top here, I'm going to, well, hang on. Next, let's do this part as well. So let's finish this side, sorry. On this side, I'm gonna move on to my darker red. This is dark red. Do a little distance with this one. Overlapping. Overlapping is very important. Light pressure, overlapping sharp tips. At the very end there, I'm going to change to my purple, which is Nightshade Lightfast, Derwent Lightfast. But if you don't have this, use a dark brown or use a dark purple, even a dark blue would do. Okay. So as I said, now we have to go from dark to light. And for that, I'm going to start with black, actually, because this side is black. So I'm using black luminance. And the reason I'm using black luminance is because polychromos black is very translucent. And when you're using it as a dark black, that is not your best choice. And I'm coming over the purple. You might ask, why did we put the purple down in the first place? It is make a lot of difference because the end part looks blacker than the part that was underlaid with purple. I'm going to sharpen my purple now. Hello, Leslie. Thank you for being here. Right, so, okay, now I'm going to go over the black. I don't know about you, but whenever I'm doing something like this, some song or some quote or something keeps coming to my mind. And for this one is the Jingle Bells song. Just keeps, as soon as I stop talking, it starts ringing. So this time I'm coming a bit further on the red. As I said, you can use this as a principle for blending any color on a smooth paper and making a transition. So, okay, I'm now at the edge of the red, and now I start just, can you see that I am reducing pressure? I'm holding my pencil at the end, so it stops me from putting pressure, and I'm just going really gently, and at some point I just let go. Okay, letting go. Moving on. Next color is my dark red. Whatever red you have that is darker, and I'm going to sharpen this. It needs to be sharpened. I think it's better if we just did that little pattern there. Yeah. So we can complete this part of the bell. Maybe we can't do the top part or the bottom part, but let's just finish this. This is not going to take long time. So, okay, guys, let's get our ivory and the yellow out, the same as we did there. Okay, let's get the kneadable eraser out. Take all these patterns, dab them down. Okay, and now I'm gonna go with my ivory first. Again, doing those cross lines, and I'm pressing hard, guys. I'm really pressing hard. This is pressing hard, making indentation, and then going across on the lines. You can't see it, but I assure you they're there, the same as were there. Then with the same pencil, I'm going again with dots, looking at the reference wherever I can see glitters. On the other side, again, there are not many glittery, shiny particles. So just in here, going that way. There's a little bit here and here. The rest are not really glittery, are they? And then with the yellow, my yellow is light yellow ochre. I'm going over these sort of leafy parts, not the central part. The center is going to be done with red. Right, so some parts I just can see golden things or lines showing, so I just did that. And I'll go around them when I put the red down. So as we learned there, in this middle part, it is actually red, but this red, if you look at the reference, is very much darker than this red. Basically, it's the same color as that. So I'm going to start with my dark red, going between those white part. And the trick here is just to go really gentle and let your pencil find those lines that you made with ivory, because you can't really see them, but you will feel them. Because they are indented, they are gone in. Then I'm just going over here between the yellows. All right. And then coming down here. So basically, I'm going to build up what we build up there, coming this way, right? So as you remember, the next one that we did in the first layer was Nightshade. So I hold on for a minute so you find your purple, dark purple, doing this part and overlapping the red. And then making my way back. This is dark red again. I should have done the golden thing first. I just was worried about the time, really. Taking the same pattern. So dark red, this is a deep scarlet. Deep scarlet red. Okay, so basically I got it to the first layer, right? Now I can do the second layer as much as I did over there. So if you remember, I started with black there. So, okay, black. And I'm going to go over some of these as well. But those, it's better if we did it with a lighter color. I show you in a minute. Let's just do this part first. Okay. And then with the deep or dark purple. The dark purple, don't be afraid of going between those the sparkly parts, because it actually make them sparkle even more if you put dark colors around them. And I'm just going to do the same as what I did up there. It's coming towards the light colors and reducing my pressure as I approach the lighter color, like that. And then just let go around here. Let's make it continuous. Right, now we are in a position to carry on, okay? Let's get our next color. So I'm going to repeat this because it was interrupted. We went from light to dark, then we went one notch higher in our dark color. We went up to black, then came back. And in each round, you just overlap your previous color. So after the dark purple, we have the dark red. So I'm going to start from up here and you go overlap. This is the key. When you overlap, this is the key to making a nice seamless transition. If you don't if you don't overlap your colors, you're gonna end up with ugly joint lines between the colors and a bell that looks like has lines on it. You don't want lines on that bell. You want the colors to smoothly run into each other rather than having a line between them. Basically, you want to have a transition where you can't tell where one color starts, one shade stops, and one stops. What did I just say? Two stops. We can't tell where one color stops and the other one starts. That's what I wanted to say. Right. So as we did with the purple, again, I just covered the purple and come towards the lighter color, but I reduce my pressure. The pressure is almost nothing here. I keep turning the pencil in my hand so I can use the best of the sharpness of the pencil. As you can see, that top lighter band that we created there it is showing through all these dark colors. Okay. Now I'm going to change to the next color, which is the deep scarlet red, and I'm going to sharpen that. Right. So this is from here that the transition is going two ways. It's going that way and it's going this way. So I have to go both ways. I'm filling up all those gaps in the middle of the dark colors, coming here. This section, I'm reluctant to go any darker. Know that this was the color we used. We can go one notch higher afterwards, but I'm just going over the previous layer and then coming down as well as to the right side. And on both directions, I'm overlapping my lighter red with this color, coming over the line or the junction between the two shades, coming over them, going that way. Bringing down the same color. I have to force myself not to press hard. Going over all these other colors, so it makes a good, nice transition. And as I'm coming over the pink, I'm reducing my pressure, really, really light pressure I'm using now. But I'm overlapping the pink. Let's do it here as well. Coming down and to the right side at the same time. So we are closing that highlighty part. We're making it less and less, less and less. making it limiting it. Okay. Almost coming over the whole area that was done with the bright pink. But my pressure here is very, very gentle, really gentle. Okay, let's move on to my next pink, next color, which is the Pink Ladder Lake. Again, I'm gonna have to sharpen it. It's not sharp. As we go higher to the next layers, top layers, you need to keep your pencil sharp because the tooth of the paper is getting saturated, and if your pencil is blunt, it's not gonna work. You will feel it. You can see that you're putting your pencil down, but it's not making much difference. So I just went over the red, overlapped that, then I'm coming down. The main job of this color is to overlap with the lighter pink, make that really small. But at the same time, we want to make the joint lines, if there is any, disappear between the different shades. And even though I'm coming over the light pink, it is looking completely different. That area that was covered or underlayered with the light pink is not gonna look the same as the ones that were underlayered with darker color. So that is the key. That is the trick. That is what happens. Okay. Now I'm gonna get the beige red, which is the last color, and go over the pink. I can actually safely go over everything. And beige red is a very good color, or any light pink for that matter. If you have a pink rose granite from, is it granite rose? Yeah, granite rose from Pablo, or going with salmon from Lightfast, or going with a light pink like the 10% burnt ochre 10% from the Luminance. Any of those light pinks are very good colors for mixing the other colors because they're neutral, they're light. So in here, I'm going to take my time and make sure that I'm putting this color down really well. Okay. Time is almost finished. I will stay for another 15 minutes to finish this part. Right, so my main transition is done. But now I have to actually go back on every color with my from light to dark. So I'm going to sharpen my beige red, going over the center here. And also you can start thinking about the rim of this bell. Let's get rid of the line. Okay. And then, if we didn't manage to do it in the session, you can just make that the same as we did there. Go darker and darker until you reach the other color, the other part.
All right. So in the main part, I'm just going over the pink again. So this time we push our light colors over the dark ones. I'm gonna get the bright pink, the pink Madder Lake now. Again, overlapping on both sides. It is actually every side because it's like a dome, isn't it? On every side, you have to take this up and over other colors. On this layer, you can add to your pressure, add just a little bit because it is, it is finishing the transition. If you have time, ever have time, and you can go a couple of more layers over the other colors, it's actually better if you just go gently. Okay, next red. Next red is the pale geranium red. And I'm going over, again, overlapping both sides, going over the light side and the dark side with the sharp pencil would smooth out all the grains, right? I like it when, I love it when it goes and saturates all those empty spaces. Then the darker red, which is the deep scarlet. This was our mid-tone, wasn't it? So let's build that up. I'm now pressing a bit medium to hard because my pen paper is saturated now, almost. Okay, and here. Right? And then I'm going to go up with the dark red, and this time I'm going to add it here because, as I said, it is slightly darker than what we have created. It's not sharp enough. So it is just darkening it. It is not putting that much, changing that much of the color, but it is making it slightly darker and making it nicely changing the value slightly because we have put so many lighter layers underneath. Okay, with this color I can go ahead and fill up all these gaps in the darker colors. Always with color pencil you go one shade lighter over dark colors and they will smooth out. They will just go smooth. Right. Okay. Now the purple. So this is the third layer, and we are going backwards again. It doesn't make that much effort now to smooth this out. And now I'd like to tidy up this pattern as well here, if I can. Going between, the inner part, going over these with my purple, because it is actually dark. It shouldn't look different from the rest of this side. I don't think I'm going to go as dark as black, but with just purple, it actually is making a lot of difference here. Right? And then finally with black. Where's my black? If I want to make these parts more reddish, I can go over this with my dark red, just smooth out the purple, the grains that were generated by putting the purple down. So because it is lighter than purple, it's not going to cover it. It just makes it red. Okay. Let's go over here and with the dark red, make some shadows underneath these branches. Because these are raised, aren't they? They look like they're raised, these patterns. And when something is raised, they create shadows. And if we don't put the shadows down, we can't see them in 3 dimensions. It's creating the shadows. Okay. Looking at the reference now, and if there is any little details that can add to the realism or to the shapes, I'll add them if they're not too difficult to create. Some of the details you can just ignore. Okay, right, so I don't think I'm gonna carry on with that, because these sessions are supposed to be 1 hour. Let me see how many are still here. 6 people. So how are you going? How are you doing? Hello, Diane. And hello, Leslie. Don't know, there is somebody called Pat Lauder, back 6903 from YouTube, watching from YouTube, and I don't know the actual name, but welcome and thank you for being here. Right, so I'm gonna stop this if you don't have any questions. I just want to let tell you, for these 2 greens, the light and dark green, if you want to do the branches of the Christmas tree, you can create them with those, and shouldn't be that difficult. Thank you, Steph. Right, so I'm gonna give you 2-3 minutes if there is anybody who has any questions, and then we say our goodbyes. Thank you, Leslie. Yeah, those patterns, they they are good, and they, you know, when you start putting them down, they look difficult, but after putting a little bit of details and colors around them, they're quite simple, aren't they? Right, you are welcome, Carol Jenkins. And if I cannot see anyone is asking questions, so thank you everybody for coming tonight, and I'll see you in January, the last week of January. So in advance, I would like to say Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you have a brilliant year ahead of you, and a very happy new year. I hope you stay creative in the new year, and I hope that you have a healthy, creative, successful year ahead of you, and that I see you more often in new year. Thank you very much, everyone.